Tourism versus ecotourism. The learning intention is that by the end of this video, I will be able to explain the difference between tourism and ecotourism. Success criteria: by the end of this video, I will have a definition written down for ecotourism in my own words. And by my own words, I mean your own words, not my own words. Also, I would like you to tell me which famous person or people pop up when in the video. For example, maybe you see Taylor Swift at 2 minutes 47. You can write that down in your book. Ecotourism versus tourism. This first picture here shows a beautiful destination which I'm sure a lot of people would love to go and visit. In fact, few people do actually get to go and visit there, but not that many. The next photo is a destination that thousands of people get to go and visit. As you can see, it's sort of a beach destination with lots of buildings in the background, and it's been completely taken over by people. I want you to pause the video now and write down what you think the difference is between ecotourism and tourism. So tourism. We know our definition for tourism is that it's people travelling to and staying in places outside of their usual environment for less than a year. If you haven't got this written down in your book already, pause the video and write it down now. Ecotourism. Now on the next 3 slides we're going to look at various definitions for ecotourism, so I don't want you to write this one down yet. Tourism directed towards exotic natural environments intended to support conservation efforts and observe wildlife. That's one definition for it. Another one. Ecotourism is responsible travel to natural areas which conserves the environment and improves the welfare of local people. And 3 more definitions. Tourism directed towards the exotic natural environments intended to support conservation efforts and observe wildlife. That's from the Oxford Dictionary. The practice of travelling to beautiful natural places for pleasure in a way that does not damage the environment there. That's the Merriam-Webster Dictionary. And responsible travel to natural areas that conserves the environment and improves the well-being of local people. That's from the International Ecotourism Society. What I'm going to get you to do is pause the video now and rewrite a definition in your own words. You can either have a mixture of all 3 of them, a mixture of 2 of them, or just choose one of them. But you need to remember the important parts, that ecotourism is not just directed towards the natural environments, but the people, the animals, the plants, and the culture of the place you are visiting. You can pause the video to do this now. Here's some pictures of eco-tourist destinations, or ones that claim they are eco-tourist destinations, but we'll get further into this during this topic. As you can see, all very beautiful places that I'm sure all of you would like to go and visit. Here we have some pictures of some destroyed destinations. Now this one on the bottom right looks a little bit like the Gold Coast. It's still beautiful and the ocean looks like it's quite healthy with the beach and it's quite clean, but there are buildings really close to where the beach is, and it sort of ruins the natural destination and what it would have looked like if we'd left it alone. The next 2 pictures, the top one is a lot of rubbish on a beach, maybe after a party or a New Year's Eve or something like that, or maybe it's like that all the time. But the bottom left picture is what happens because of that, and with plastic going into the ocean, that poor turtle has now had to grow up with a plastic ring wrapped around it, and it's changed it completely. And this is not actually an uncommon thing that happens, and this is what happens when we put rubbish into the ocean, when we don't look after our animals and our plants and our wildlife. And here is our picture of our 2 famous people. Now if you don't know who these 2 are, you definitely will by the end of this term. On the left you have Edmund Hillary, and on the right you have Tenzing Norgay, and those were the 2 people who were the first to summit Mount Everest. So what can tourism do to nature? The picture on the left is a place which didn't have many people in it. And as you can see, we've got lots of growth here, lots of trees, lots of shrubs, lots of green spaces. And on the right is the same place. And what's happened is this is 10 years after people started moving in. And as you can see, the land has been cleared out so that you can have people go and visit there. But the ocean, the water looks different. The mountains also look different, a slightly different angle of picture, so that does also change the perspective. But what's happened is we've gotten rid of all of the natural space so that people can go and enjoy this destination. And this is what happens when we allow tourism into our natural environments. Right, so a quick recap. You need to have written in your book a definition for ecotourism. Now remember, it's about supporting the natural things that you find there, whether that's the people, the culture, the plants, or the animals, where tourism is simply people traveling to and staying in places outside of their usual environment for less than 1 year. So now you should be able to recognize the difference between those two and have definitions for each written in your books.